Okay, we're broadcasting from Ascent, the holy city of Tzfat. So there are four things that are the most critical things for every single person to know. The first is that God is real, that all of our reality in kind of computer speak, we're inside a computer, and that is reality. So what is more real? Me talking to you or the computer that's making me? In other words, it may seem that everything we see and feel, including ourselves, is real, but there is literally this scientifically been proven and Kabbalistically been from revelation from God. There's literally like a computer that's generating everything. They call it simulation theory in a way. Now, it's not like it doesn't exist. It's basically, it's the fabric of reality. We know all of matter is energy. It's actually God himself. But in for practical purposes, we're going to use this concept that it's just like we are inside a computer, and everything is inside the computer. It's like the Matrix. We're just inside the computer. And you say, well, I feel, but I don't know if you know this, but Kabbalistically as well as scientifically, there's a part in your brain, when I touch my hand and I feel on my hand, it's actually an image, a 3D image of me in my own brain, and it's making me feel here. You don't actually feel here. You feel over here. You understand how sophisticated it is? God forbid if somebody loses an arm, they still can get an itch because the arm is in their brain. It's where you're feeling is actually your brain is making you think that it's over here. It's like a computer that understands to make you feel over here. So the first thing of life is that everything, past, present, future in our dimension of reality is generated by the computer. That's number one. Number two, if everything is generated by a computer, then there must be a reason why. Nothing exists. Aristotle thought that the world always existed. Now we know from the Big Bang Theory, also Kabbalah, it began in the size of a single atom. And basically all of matter is the size of an electron. It's just spread out. So we exist in a time, space, matter dimension. And it doesn't exist on its own. It's being generated. So if it's being generated, there's a consciousness. And basic fact of quantum physics, consciousness creates matter. There's a consciousness that's creating reality. And if the consciousness is creating reality, there must be a reason why. Again, it's literally like, imagine if I go and I build, an entire city. There's going to have to be a reason why. Either I like attention, or I need a place to live, or I want to express myself, whatever it is, there has to be a reason why, because that city didn't exist and I chose to bring it into existence. And that means consciousness creates reality, and therefore reality is literally an act of conscious choice. So the question then becomes, what is the reason consciousness chose and is choosing, because again, it's being generated as we speak, choosing to create us. And I don't have many gifts in my life. I'm not a great singer or a painter. But one thing I can say I am a little gifted in is that finding the truth. That's my gift. And also, I've been raised as an Orthodox rabbi, and I think I'd have a tremendous amount of skill set in the study of the Torah and ancient texts. And bottom line, it boils down to this. I tell people, if you want to understand why you exist, why does a parent make a child? I like to ask people, would you like to have a child? Yes, different reasons. But the bottom line reason is you love them. Now, why do you love them? Because there are two types of love. There's a love born of respect and admiration and adoration. And then there's the love born of pleasure. This gives me pleasure. So a rabbi was once seeing a man eat chicken. He says, do you love chicken? He says, Rabbi, I love chicken. He says, you don't love chicken. You killed that poor thing and you're stabbing it and you're eating it. You love yourself. You love the way chicken makes you feel. So there are many things that you love it, not because it is intrinsically giving you, not because you intrinsically respect it, but because it's giving you a pleasure. And so it's basically a biochemical feedback system. And that's really how the body functions, pain and pleasure. But a real love is an admiration. And that's something that animals can have, because animals don't think in sophisticated way. They don't admire someone. It's what is in it for me? How does it feel for me? So the next level is understanding that God, and it's very, very deep, very few people actually understand, including myself, even though I teach it, which is that God admires you. They say, why would God admire me? Well, what could be more admirable, first of all, than somebody that's humble and somebody that wants to do good and somebody that does good? There's nothing more admirable in the world. A person could build a big company, but that was just selfish. You wanted money, you just wanted fame or something. Everything that's for self is no big deal. But a person that actually is considerate and compassionate, that's a big deal. And you're one of those people. So God admires you. And last but not least is the infinity, the unlimited nature of God is beyond anything that our human minds can understand. And that's why every single process, I have a friend or a student, and she's a doctor and a psychiatrist, an internist, and she went off to study Buddhism many, many years, and she studied it well. But there's no system, no religious system in the world that says what Jewish mysticism says. Jewish mysticism says, listen carefully to this, that you can and will eternally evolve, which basically means grow in infinite dimensions. In other words, you're going to infinitely be better than you were, hopefully, as you learn to grow quicker yesterday. Every hour, once you become really good at this, you can grow infinitely every moment. Okay, most of us, the psychologists say every 7 years people change their worldview, 7-year change or something. But the better you get at growth, like anything, any language or dance, it almost can come instantaneously because the infinite one is beyond limitation. So every single moment is really what the Baal Shem Tov came to the world to reveal. Everything is hashgacha process. Everything that you see, you hear, if you attune yourself, what is the lesson? What can I learn from this? Your heart is open for transformation. It will become something that transforms you. You literally become a new person from this thing. So I want you to understand 4 things. Number 1, simulation. Everything's just made by the computer. Number 2, the computer loves you. That's why he made you. Number 3, one second, I think I'm forgetting the order. Hold on 1 second. Actually, number 2 and 3 are kind of the same. That's kind of maybe why I put it together. It's his choice. Why did he choose it? Because he loves you. And that's very important to understand. You're lovable unconditionally. You're amazing in God's eyes and the eyes of the creator of all of humanity, all of the Torah, all of history. You are unconditionally worthwhile, worth existing. And share this message because a lot of people need to hear it. It can heal a lot of people. There's a book called Toward a Meaningful Life that I really recommend. If I have a chance, I'll put some quotes down. But basically, there was a chapter, it's from the Rebbe, that said, birth is God saying you matter. And there was a lady that unfortunately she was abused, and a lot of abuse is demeaning. We've all gone through that some way or another. She read it 500 times, and it healed her. Birth is saying that you matter so much to God that the world can't exist without you. You are one of his infinite diamonds in this universe. And that's why you exist. But ultimately, it's not just to say, oh, I'm so beautiful, I'm a diamond. No, because you should always go beyond your greatness to an infinitely higher level. This was revealed to us by the Baal Shem Tov, that basically everything you see and hear is a message. And if you open yourself up to that, you will literally be living within the infinity of the infinite, constant growth, constant magic, constant beauty. Thank you for watching. And if this is meaningful to you, please do share it. It took me about 20 years to learn what I just taught you right now. And it took literally thousands of years for this information to be revealed through Jewish mysticism.